Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to continue our Understanding the Evidence series, and it's going to be a quicker video. I just wanted to briefly talk about clinically meaningful outcomes. So, this is being made during the COVID-19 pandemic, and because of that, a lot of what I'm going to talk about is COVID-19 related in terms of the studies. There's been a lot of studies coming out on COVID-19, and a lot of the endpoints and outcomes of those studies have been variable. I think something we have to keep in mind when we're digesting these studies are what are the clinical implications of the results? Are they clinically meaningful? So what do I mean? When we look at a study, we often talk about what the outcomes are. And I don't know if I necessarily talk specifically about whether they're clinically meaningful or not, but that is something we should always think about. Are the outcomes something that are going to make a difference in clinical practice? And to explain this, I'm just going to draw kind of three different columns. All right. We're going to spread that out a little bit. Let's make them a little taller. Good. So specifically when we talk about COVID-19, there's been a lot of different studies. Some of these studies have looked at biomarkers, and these are things like white blood cell count, C-reactive protein, right, interleukin 6, etc., etc. Some of these have looked at viral titers and viral loads. Right? So I'm actually going to erase this because I want to write other things in here. But some studies looked at viral loads, how much virus an individual has. And then other studies have looked at mortality or hospitalization. So within clinically meaningful outcomes, there's a spectrum of value, right? And that's what I'm trying to represent here. So when we look at biomarkers and we see that certain studies show, a decrease in inflammatory markers, or they show a improvement in CT chest findings, resolutions, of pneumonia, or they show a, increase in the absolute lymphocyte count. What do all those mean? Well, they might mean, right, that they have lab improvements and thus the patient is getting better. But that's not what they're saying, right? What they're saying is just simply that we have decrease in these inflammatory markers, or somewhat improvement in CT chest, or increase in the absolute lymphocyte count, or decrease in heart rate, decrease in fever. But does that translate into patients actually doing better? And that's the question we should be asking. A biomarker, this would be not a clinically meaningful outcome. It might correlate with a clinically meaningful outcome, but it is not one in and of itself. So when studies show kind of these non-clinically meaningful outcomes, I think we need to ask ourselves, why are they using not meaningful outcomes? I shouldn't say not meaningful, not clinically meaningful outcomes, and are the outcomes they looked at, firmly correlated with clinically meaningful outcomes? Because if a therapy decreases your inflammatory markers, but it doesn't decrease mortality, hospitalization, symptom resolution, long-term sequelae, et cetera, then the fact the inflammatory markers decrease is irrelevant. It's not helpful because the outcome is not clinically meaningful. Okay, so going down the spectrum, viral titers and viral loads. This is like when we see studies that show the cycle threshold improve so that there's less of a viral load, or that you had seroconversion to negative PCR at a certain timeline, or that you had swab negative, which is kind of like seroconversion, I guess. So this is kind of the next step in clinical meaningful outcomes, right? Because this is not in and of itself a clinically meaningful outcome, but it may be more closely associated with one. The question, though, is still, does clearing the virus more quickly improve the outcomes for the patient? So we saw this with some of the hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin data out of France, and their later studies looked at more clinically meaningful outcomes, but they were big into showing that the viral load decreased more quickly. But we don't necessarily have data to say that that more quickly decreased viral load improves outcomes. It might, or maybe you can even say probably does, because if you're getting rid of the virus more quickly, you should be less sick overall and you should heal more quickly. But it doesn't necessarily say that. So again, what is the clinical meaningfulness of this outcome that they looked at? Probably stronger than the biomarkers, but still not in and of itself a clinically meaningful outcome. That brings us to the last column, mortality and hospitalization. This is this is a clinically meaningful outcome, right? If you have a decreased mortality, or you have a decreased ICU admission, or decreased hospitalizations, or you have decreased symptoms, SX, or you have, faster resolution of symptoms. All these things are resolution. Good. That's beautiful. All these things are the actual clinically meaningful outcomes that studies should aim to look at, right? Because we have objective data that the therapy utilized improves patients, right? Not just their biomarkers, not just viral loads, but the patient actually does better. Less of them die, less of them go to the ICU, less of them are admitted to the hospital. They have more benign symptoms. They have faster resolution of symptoms. This is what we should be aiming for when we are doing studies, right? Is that we should be aiming for these clinically meaningful outcomes. And studies that don't look at clinically meaningful outcomes, we need to then decide, is there a close correlation between the outcome and clinically meaningful outcomes? And if not, then we need to take the study with a grain of salt, right? A lot of these studies that don't have clinical meaningful outcomes are studies that like set the stage to then have additional studies that look at these more robust outcomes. So if we look at a drug that decreases inflammatory markers, then maybe it's worth spending the time looking at that drug and seeing if it decreases viral loads. And if it does, maybe it's worth spending the time and looking at that drug to see if it decreases mortality or ICU or symptoms, etc. So a lot of these studies set up studies that can be done to look at clinical meaningful outcomes. But given the diverseness of the literature, especially when it comes to COVID, I think thinking about this topic while you're reading a paper is important. All right. Thank you for following along. Let us know questions, thoughts, comments you have down below. Feel free to subscribe, hit the bell button. Let us know what you think. Hope you have a good day. Stay well, and we'll see you next time.